Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. Let me double check on some stuff. That all looks like it's working. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you don't mind, and maybe drop a like if you will. We're going to be going over a few things. Number one, we're going to be going over Cardano TVL, which I've covered in the past, but it's a little different now. We're also going to be touching base on some of the midnight news that's been going on. And then we're going to get into a little bit of trading activity, some of the stuff that I've been doing, and I'm going to start sharing with you. So first, we're going to go ahead and open up the browser, and we're going to, well, there's Crow tokens, the best shit coin on Cardano for those of you guys that are interested. I'm working on trying to get a centralized exchange listing for this so that I can have some more fun playing with it. Right now it's just on vifi.io, and so it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a little bit of interesting stuff. So the Cardano Nami wallet becomes an IOG product. Charles Hoskinson's excited. That's pretty cool. I've actually always liked Nami. It just seems like IOG tends to really focus on the top quality stuff. Lace is a beautiful wallet. And I think that was put out by Emergo, and it's a nice wallet. It looks nice, but it still just seems kind of buggy. And Nami is something that, if you're trying to mint NFTs and things like that, if you're trying to go grab yourself a Murder of Crows NFT, well, I always tell everybody to use Nami. We even put it right at the top of the website, use Nami, and we have for quite some time. So this doesn't really surprise me, but Nami is now an IOG product, so that's cool. Hopefully it'll just continue to grow and move forward. Now there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. One of the first things I want to touch on is the market a bit. So currently, Bitcoin's just trading just under 35 grand. I've been degenning into all sorts of leverage trades over the last 4 days or so, taking heavy losses, kind of intentionally to some extent. I've been experimenting with things. I've been back testing and testing out my new indicator coming up. And so I haven't been showing a lot of those trades because I've been just kind of horsing around, but I am learning a lot, and I've got 3 different indicator sets going on Bitcoin's price action, which I may or may not share. We'll see. And I'm kind of dialing in a lot of stuff for my indicator, but we'll get on that a little bit later. But watching Bitcoin rise up from like 26,000 all the way up to the 35,000 that it's hovering at now has been very interesting. And while a lot of people are basically saying, we're moon boy, I still think that there's some likelihood for a potential drop between now and the halving. Now, I say that only based off of history, because if I look at the history, and I've showed this on other videos where I actually think we're going to be more akin to modeling this current cycle after the 2017 cycle, at which point we won't get a drop. This is just going to go up from here. It's going to go up sideways, little drops here and there. But ultimately, yeah, if we do emulate the 2017 cycle, that's what we're going to get. Probably not a big drop. If we're going to emulate the last cycle, we could get a 60% drop between now and the halving. So, but it just doesn't look like it's shaping up that way. Cardano is trading at 35 cents. And Solana's trading at $40. This kind of does blow my mind, because Solana was just $20 not that long ago, and it just doubled. It seems like overnight. And Cardano's been doing well. It's been rising, and typically I see Cardano spike quite a bit when everything else is kind of taking a nap. And I almost attribute that to basically a lot of the big players in the market look at Cardano as a safe space. When all else is done, they put it all into Cardano. And then when it does reach new milestones, it typically hovers and hangs out there, waiting for its next pump. And if it does drop at all, it might drop a penny or two, and then it'll sit idle waiting for the next little mini cycle. So it's very interesting to watch the price action lately. So there's a lot of altcoins that I'm going to be getting into. I am going to be venturing into a lot of different altcoins, and I'm going to be putting out, I'll tell you what I'm doing before I get deep into this other stuff. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Many of you guys know that I love Supo Man. Okay. And people can, back in the day, he got a lot of crap because he put a couple of his top picks into a course that he offered on Udemy. And so many people were up in arms because they basically made it sound like, you hid your top picks behind a paywall. And he got so much flack for that. And then it wasn't long after that where his channel was just canceled on YouTube. Like YouTube just deleted his channel and they never brought it back. And he started his channel up again. He's already back to like 120 or 130 something thousand subscribers again. And he's putting out really great content to basically point people into the direction of look at these projects, and he's rating them based off of what he feels they may go into in terms of like a 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, 1000x potential return at the peak of the market. And I always look at that content as fun and a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because obviously none of us really know, and he knows he doesn't either, but he has made some really good calls in the past. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be deep diving into a lot of the projects that he talks about in his rankings. And I've enlisted my helper Crypto Chef, who a lot of you guys see in pretty much everything on Twitter and everything. But Crypto Chef is solid. He's been helping for a while now with different things, and he's taking my Cardano metrics and he's going to be applying them for me and putting them all in Excel for me so that I don't have to do all of that legwork. I actually got some help, y'all. Can you believe it? I'm getting a little bit of help. But then I'm going to be turning a lot of that information into kind of the framework for a deep dive into a lot of these projects that Superman thinks are going to do very, very well. And that's going to become content for me. I am absolutely going to ride the coattails of Superman into some of this content, but I'm going to be going deeper and sharing my perspective on things. Some of the stuff he says, I'm not necessarily that bullish on. I think that it could go another route. But that's kind of the beauty of having two perspectives. You've got somebody from the UK and somebody from the Western states who may have some disagreements on some of these projects based off of, things like regulation, government control. And, we could say, things are very different here now. So anyway, but I'm just letting you guys know that that's coming. It's definitely going to be a thing. Now, let's take a look at what's going on here. One of the things that I wanted to touch on is this. Cardano holders gears up for midnight protocol. No more here. According to unconfirmed rumors, Cardano holders may be airdropped midnight or dust token in a mega reward campaign. I would absolutely love to see this for a multitude of reasons, but I haven't seen any clear evidence of this being a thing just yet, but we're going to dive into it a little bit. Cardano holders could be in line for a significant reward boost from an upcoming Midnight Protocol airdrop campaign that's currently under discussion. The news has sparked interest in the Cardano community, as witnessed by a recent surge in the ADA price. Big payday for Cardano holders. The news was first shared on the X app by a community member, Big Pay YouTube. The news has stirred a new level of intrigue from the Cardano community, as Big Pay is one of its respected members who has earned a following from the protocol's parent company, Input Output Global. So apparently a rumor coming from a fairly provable, reliable source. Following the post, the community members are already posting questions like what kinds of wallet will be needed to be eligible or other criteria to adhere to. According to BidPay, users may become eligible for the airdrop if their chosen stake pool operators are running on Cardano. In other words, because some of these stake pool, and this created a lot of division among stake pool operators and those staking, because you would see things for like Sunday Swap and other tokens, and people would set up their staking pools to issue Sunday Swap, basically issue other tokens that aren't Cardano. So I think this is basically saying if they're Cardano nodes, then those are going to benefit and ultimately people holding Cardano. He noted that though the plans may change in the future, the stakers supporting Midnight are a priority for now. Supporting Midnight. While the official announcement is being awaited, Cardano holders are banking on the close association between Big Pay and the project's founders to gear up for the event. Cardano introduced the Midnight Protocol and its native token, Dust, as one of its most profound efforts to actualize the dreams of decentralized privacy to meet the demands of several Web 3.0 users. While Midnight is not fully operational, IOG revealed earlier this month that it has selected the first group of pioneers for DevNet. Known as a protocol with a penchant for decentralization, the Midnight DevNet might be open to a broader spectrum of testers soon. So I'm very much interested in trying to figure out exactly what this all means. How is Midnight going to be launched? How is the airdrop going to be handled? So we're just going to have to wait and see. Charles Hoskinson unveiled Cardano's privacy sidechain Midnight. The IOG CEO claimed it was the most sophisticated product they've worked on. Despite Hoskinson's dynamic presentation, the community's reactions were mixed. And obviously, I think that's because a lot of people just don't fully understand, including myself. We don't fully understand how this is going to be deployed. How are the tokens going to be issued? Are they going to be issued as an airdrop to all Cardano holders? Cardano holders that have been holding for a certain period of time. How is this going to happen? Or are the tokens just going to come into existence from staking pools that are, changing things? Maybe instead of Cardano, we have to issue or support Midnight directly, which I hope is not the case, because that would really piss me off personally, because it was always my impression that as new tokens are utilized on the blockchain, that staking pools would be able to just issue those tokens passively to people that are delegated to their node. And so far, I haven't seen that as being the case. You stake to the Cardano node, you get Cardano back, and that's it. And look, that's fine, but I would like to see maybe some airdrops or something that really bridges these gaps, because there are quite a few. Charles Hoskinson kicks off Midnight. Hoskinson revealed that IOG had been quietly toiling away on Midnight for nearly 5 years, despite its public unveiling in November of 2022. He underscored that Cardano had its limits and necessitated a service layer, which is where Midnight steps in. Hoskinson flaunted many of Midnight's features, highlighting its multi-consensus identity, roll-ups, and private smart contracts. The IOG CEO painted Midnight as one of the most sophisticated products the firm has worked on, claiming it could supercharge Cardano's ability to move onto completely new sectors, which is very, very interesting to me, I have to say. There's a lot of stuff, man, and there's a lot of speculation related to Midnight and how it's going to be, how it's going to work inside. And it's a side chain. We know it's a side chain, but this is going to be interesting. Cardano's sidechain is a huge leap forward for the network and could boost its status in the industry. However, the lack of information surrounding it, agreed, except for keynotes and presentations from its core team, can raise concerns and confusion about the protocol. Yeah, this isn't good. And I'm sure if I sent Charles a message asking him for any details, he'd just leave me on red. So don't count on me to be able to try and bring anything to the forefront. But it is what it is. I guess we just have to wait and see. Now, we're going to look at Cardano's TVL, currently $297 million, right? And it's like, I've done multiple videos on this, and I just don't think it sets in with people. And I think this needs to become a very significant narrative moving forward, because Cardano has been so underrepresented, in my opinion, from anybody in mainstream media. It's been intentionally left out of multiple arguments across the board. It's been oppressed, suppressed. It's been like the mainstream media, the venture capital groups and the like, just don't like Cardano because they couldn't get in early and work the pumps and work the non-existent Ponzinomics that you're going to find in other blockchains. And it definitely tends to boil my blood a little bit. But look at it. So not only are we basically on an uptrend in Cardano's TVL, this is far, far inaccurate, because listen, 23.01 billion ADA tokens are delegated to nodes right now, which means what? Which means they are locked. They're not locked, but they're what's the best word? It's a passive lock. In other words, when you're delegating your Cardano to a node, you're supporting the network, you're supporting the node operator, but you can still use it. But what it's not doing is it's not sitting on an exchange waiting to be sold. It can be utilized. And then when it is utilized, then it takes an epoch or two before it's reflected. So, 23 billion ADA tokens plus 297 million. What does that equate to an actual TVL in real time? Well, I'll tell you. You multiply the 23.01 billion ADA currently staked, which this has been going up again because this was lower not that long ago. And I think in the peak of the bull market, the last bull market, this was somewhere around 75%. We've only had maybe a 12, 13% drop in the amount of ADA being delegated as staking nodes throughout the bear market. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I've watched this thing and this has not dropped that much. ADA holders are in it for the long haul. We are not... the vast majority of us are in it because of the future that we expect it to deliver, not just financially for its holders, but in its technological state. Look up Africa and you can get a real clear understanding as to why Cardano is focused primarily on Africa and why World Mobile Token and the like has been focused on that. So, and before I go deeper into this, I need to pull something up here. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to let that open up because I've got a little bit of a paid segment that I just remembered that I really want to touch on because I think this is going to be a big deal. And I know that they want me to do a dedicated video in the future at a particular date and time. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Let me just say that. So we're going to get to that in just a bit. But if you calculate this 23.01 billion tokens, what does that equate to? Well, folks, that equates to $8,053,500,000. Okay, so you're talking about $8.27 billion TVL for Cardano. If you want to look at the real, because you can't. Just because it's not locked up to a point where you can't get access to it doesn't take away from the fact that there are over $8.2 billion worth of ADA being delegated to nodes, staked, so forth and so on. And that's the facts. That's just all there is to it. So when some of these other blockchains and things are talking about their TVL and how it's higher than Cardano, it's bunk. It is a false narrative, which I've touched on in the past. But look, you do it yourself. 23 billion times the current price of Cardano, which is 35 cents, closer to 36 cents. And then you're going to get over $8 billion. So for those of you guys staking, look at this. Look at this pleasant surprise. 38.1 million ADA in my current live stake on the Cardano node, or the Crow node. I called it Cardano, obviously, kind of a tongue-in-cheek name there, but 36.8 million in active stake. I love it. Thank you guys so much. That really does help me. It helps me a lot. Now we're going to get to this little paid segment here. Apparently, the Medium tells me that the violation of some Medium rules like years ago for posting an article. I don't know what this was all about. But anyway, MAV 100 presents our World Mobile Community Beta Program. I want you guys to pay attention to this because there's some other big stuff in relation to this coming that I can't talk about yet. But pay attention. I don't care if this is a paid segment or not. I'm telling you, you need to pay attention to this. The MAV 100 Community Beta Test Program, NFT Basic Benefits. We are excited to announce our World Mobile Community Beta Test, where we invite supporters from the Cardano community to join us in an amazing opportunity. Over the last 18 months, we have been engaging local businesses, churches, and individuals through student outreach to begin integrating some of the powerful use cases of the Cardano ecosystem into the communities in the United States. In this program, we're going to test our community cooperative membership NFT model, where holders will be members of a community cooperative association. Using NFTs as proof of membership in a cooperative association will have multiple benefits. KYC isn't necessary. All necessary tax documentation will be sent to the wallet address. Ease of revenue distribution in an existing legal format. The MAV 100 Community Beta Test Program NFT Basic Benefits. These NFTs represent membership in a cooperative association which owns mobile air nodes that will be used to map out minimum viable networks in prospective communities. It will be governed by registered bylaws that determine the relationship between the directors and the holders of the NFT. There will be 2 levels of membership: the beta seed, and the 100. Priced at different amounts. So the seed NFT price 500 ADA, total quantity 3,000. The NFT 100 will be 5,000 ADA, and the NFT quantity will be 100. And the benefits are below. There's going to be a lot more information coming on this, especially as it relates to World Mobile. And this is just a quick little kind of something to say. This is coming. Something's coming. You might want to pay a little attention to it. This is a Medium article that was written about this. The MAV 100 beta NFT, the summary. The demand for mobile data infrastructure is in a phase of explosive growth. The opportunity made available by World Mobile when they opened the gateway for community-owned data infrastructure has the potential for amazing returns. At MAV 100, we believe that these returns can be more than monetary. They can also create an inclusive society where the fundamental infrastructure within a community is owned by that community. It will also create an example of real-world positive application of blockchain technology. So check this out. There's definitely more stuff coming. So yeah, I think that'll be, I'm actually kind of interested in what's going on with this. I'm getting more information soon. I know that they're going to be giving me a lot of really important upcoming information that that video. I won't be able to say anything about it. But apparently it's supposed to come out on a very specific date for a very specific reason and can't come out before then. It's going to be an interesting one. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I really do want to know, what do you guys think of this whole TVL situation? Because to me, it kind of frustrates me, because even myself for the longest time was completely neglecting these metrics. And, listen, this $297 million TVL is nothing. It's nothing. It's $8.297 million. Okay. That's the way I look at it. That's the way everybody should look at it. And to all of the haters that are out there just dying every time Cardano makes a new milestone or hits a new high or launches something new and interesting and cool for the community. Every time they come out and they start trying to talk their trash, or they try to really just hit Cardano, because they're in fear, man. A lot of these people are in fear. And, we can also see who the media controls. But for those of us that are capable of critical thinking and doing research on our own and not leaving it up to the rest of the world to tell us what we should like and what we shouldn't like, well, that's why we're here, and that's why we follow Cardano. And that's why many of us are invested and continue to accumulate over time, waiting for the peak of the next market. I'm happy where I'm at. Hopefully you guys are too. I'm just some guy on the interwebs. I am the Crypto Crow. I'm always right sometimes. And until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.